Loving yourself is an essential foundation for a peaceful and contented life. It involves more than treating yourself to indulgences. It's about deeply appreciating and caring for your inner self, steering clear of the traps set by fear and comparison. Let's explore why self-love is fundamental and how negative self-talk, especially fear driven by others' perceptions, can undermine our mental health and personal growth. Self-love is a state of appreciation for oneself that grows from actions that support our physical, psychological, and spiritual growth. It means having a high regard for your own well-being and happiness. Self-love isn't about being narcissistic or self-absorbed. It's about getting in touch with ourselves, our well-being, and our happiness. This practice encourages us to maintain a healthy relationship with ourselves, thereby transmitting good feelings to others. By focusing on our needs, we decrease the unnecessary stress that comes from neglecting our well-being. Accepting self-love isn't always straightforward. External pressures and the human tendency to compare ourselves to others can cloud our perception of what it truly means to care for ourselves. This is where the danger of negative self-talk and self-sabotage comes into play. Negative self-talk often stems from a lack of self-love and an overemphasis on external validation. It's the inner voice that whispers, "You're not good enough. You can't do this," or "You don't deserve happiness." This voice might feel like it's keeping you grounded or helping you stay realistic, but in reality, it's doing more harm than good. It fosters unnecessary fear, limits your potential, and prevents you from embracing opportunities that could lead to personal growth and success. One common source of negative self-talk is the habit of comparing ourselves to others. In the age of social media, where everyone's life seems perfect, it's easy to feel like we're falling short. We scare ourselves into believing that we need to be better, smarter, or more interesting. This fear is not only unfounded, but also detrimental to our mental health and our journey toward genuine self-love. So how can we combat this self-sabotage? It starts with recognizing the patterns. Awareness is the first step in transforming these negative thoughts. Whenever you catch yourself slipping into self-criticism, pause and ask yourself, is this thought helpful? Is it kind? Would I say this to someone I love? If the answer is no, then it's time to reframe those thoughts. Replace them with affirmations that encourage acceptance and compassion towards yourself. While we continue our exploration into self-love, it becomes crucial to identify the specific thoughts that sabotage our progress. Self-sabotaging thoughts are often stealthy, creeping into our minds under the guise of realism or protective caution. But they serve only to reinforce the limitations we impose on ourselves. Identifying these thoughts is like turning on a light in a dark room. It exposes the obstacles that prevent us from moving forward. To start, pay attention to the moments when you doubt your capabilities or criticize yourself harshly. These are key indicators of self-sabotaging thoughts. For instance, when facing a new opportunity, you might think, "I'm probably not qualified enough," or "others are better than me." These thoughts are not reflections of reality, but are rather born from fear and insecurity. The process of identifying these thoughts involves a constant practice of mindfulness. Begin by observing your thoughts without judgment. Note how often you discourage yourself with negative predictions or harsh criticisms. Writing these thoughts down can be incredibly effective. It transforms them from abstract fears into concrete challenges that you can address. Once you recognize these patterns, you can begin to dismantle them. Understanding the psychology of fear is vital in overcoming it and fostering self-love. Fear often originates from the unknown or from past experiences that didn't go as planned. It tricks us into believing that avoiding risks is the same as protecting ourselves. But this protection is often a barrier against the experiences that could lead to personal growth and happiness. Fear manifests in various ways, from hesitancy to take on new challenges to reluctance in expressing our true desires. It can make us overly cautious, stifle our creativity, and prevent us from pursuing what genuinely makes us happy. Recognizing the role of fear and self-sabotage is a critical step. Ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? And what is the worst that could happen? More often than not, you'll find that the fear is not as substantial or as insurmountable as it seems. To counteract fear, it's essential to develop a rational approach to dealing with uncertainty. Accept that fear is a normal part of life, but challenge its validity in your decision-making process. Start with small steps outside your comfort zone, gradually building your confidence. Each small victory against fear reinforces your ability to manage it, which in turn strengthens your practice of self-love. Now that we've identified the destructive patterns of self-sabotage and the underlying fear that fuels them, let's shift our focus inward. Concentrating on internal growth rather than external validation is a powerful step toward cultivating self-love. This shift begins by understanding that true validation can only come from within, and that our worth is not determined by external standards or comparisons. The practice of focusing inward involves listening to your own needs and desires without the noise of societal expectations. It's about getting to know yourself on a deeper level and aligning your actions with your values and beliefs. Start by setting aside time each day for self-reflection. Use this time to meditate, write in a journal, or simply sit quietly and ponder your thoughts and feelings. This isn't about isolation, it's about creating a space to connect with your true self. While you spend more time focusing on your inner world, you'll notice a shift in how you view challenges and opportunities. Decisions will start to align more closely with your personal goals and values, which leads to more fulfilling outcomes. This practice not only enhances your relationship with yourself, but also improves your interactions with others as you become more anchored in your own being. Building on the idea of focusing inward, there are practical steps you can take to solidify this practice in your daily life. First, consciously recognize when your attention drifts to external validation or comparison. When you catch yourself seeking outside approval or measuring yourself against others, gently redirect your focus back to your own journey and progress. Implement regular check-ins with yourself to evaluate your progress on personal goals. Are your daily actions bringing you closer to where you want to be? If not, what adjustments can you make? These check-ins keep you accountable and focused on your path. Another practical step is to cultivate gratitude. Start or end your day by listing things you are grateful for about yourself and your life. These can be qualities you appreciate about yourself, achievements from the day, or simple joys you experienced. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you possess, reinforcing a positive mindset and self-appreciation. Engage in activities that you genuinely enjoy and that make you feel good about yourself. Whether it's a hobby, exercise, or learning something new, these activities should reinforce the idea that your value and happiness are derived from how you feel about yourself, not from external sources. To further strengthen the practice of focusing inward and nurturing self-love, establishing a daily self-love routine is crucial. This routine involves activities that foster your mental, emotional, and physical health. Begin by setting aside specific times each day dedicated to activities that soothe and replenish you. It could be a morning meditation, an evening walk, or a nighttime reading session, whatever feels rejuvenating. Consistency is key. Even on busy days, make sure to commit at least a few minutes to this routine. The consistency not only builds the habit, but also sends a message to yourself that you are worth this time. This routine becomes a daily reaffirmation of your commitment to self-love and personal well-being. Incorporate periodic self-assessment into your routine. This isn't about criticism, but rather observing how different activities affect your mood and energy levels. This awareness allows you to adjust your routine in ways that best support your personal growth and happiness. Another vital aspect of cultivating self-love is learning to set healthy boundaries. Boundaries protect your energy and foster a sense of self-respect. They are not barriers to keep people out, but rather guidelines that help others understand how to treat you respectfully. Start by identifying what feels draining or overwhelming in your interactions with others. Are there specific demands on your time and energy that leave you feeling depleted? Communicate your boundaries clearly and calmly with those around you. It's important to express your needs without feeling guilty for prioritizing your well-being. This might include saying no to additional responsibilities when you're already stretched thin, or asking for space in relationships when needed. When you set and enforce boundaries, you might worry about others' reactions. Remember, setting boundaries is a practice in respecting and valuing yourself, and genuine relationships will withstand and respect these boundaries. Over time, you will find that boundaries become easier to maintain and are essential for a healthy self-image and lifestyle. We've explored the profound significance of self-love and the detrimental effects of negative self-talk and external validation. We've looked into the importance of focusing inward, establishing a self-love routine, and setting healthy boundaries, each playing a pivotal role in nurturing our mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. By committing to these practices, we empower ourselves to lead lives filled with self-respect, joy, and peace, grounded in the belief that our worth comes from within. If today's video resonated with you, I encourage you to take a step right now towards strengthening your self-love. Reflect on one boundary you can set this week, or one activity you can add to your self-love routine that will enhance your well-being. Don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who could benefit from these practices, and subscribe to our channel for more insights and guidance on living a more fulfilled life.